playlist on Apple iTunes and a couple other places you can get. Okay, Zadie Wolf. Zadie Wolf has a song called "Born Ready."
Is that your theme song?
It is. It's a really good song. All right, we ready to roll? What's up, guys? We got Billy in the house. You let me know when I'm ready, Brandon, and we're good to go. All right. Alexa off. Boom. Love it when my day starts off like that. Somebody's listening to me. So I get like this
Nice. I'm getting one.
little self-gratification
I'm getting
right there.
one.
Like, all right. Sometimes yesterday in a meeting, she didn't listen. And actually, Brandon had to be the one that told her to go off.
She listened to Brandon?
She did. Hey, guys, on this jam session, Billy Alt stops by. So excited. This is the 83rd jam session.
That's unbelievable in itself, man. My hat's off to you. Kudos. 83, that's a ton. How long has this been going on?
83.
A year?
83 weeks.
83. So every week consistently.
Pretty much. Yeah, we've had some off weeks. I mean, where my schedules haven't allowed me to pull one in, but we've tried to be pretty consistent on every week doing one.
So a solid year and a half.
Oh, yeah. Solid year and a half. So probably more like 2 years we've been doing them because I'm sure there's weeks in there that we didn't make it. So that's 83.
Awesome. And the thing about it that I've noticed and I've seen,
yeah.
I'm a fan, I'll say that, because your content's so good. I mean, I learn from it and steal from it and watch it and listen to it, So it's not like it's a bunch of other handsome guys like you or me. I'll take some of that too. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's good stuff. It's good content, So
well, that's because I do listen. I mean, I want to know what they like, because it doesn't really matter what I or you like.
Correct.
I mean, if our content to us is great, then it doesn't impact their life, then we've really failed at what we're really putting together here. So, to that point, guys, if there's anything that you guys want to see in this episode, upcoming episodes, whatever it is, drop some notes in the comments and what have you, and we'll definitely work hard to get some of those things produced for you. I mean, it's about value. It's about really, I know one camera, they all know you, right? And we have 5 other cameras rolling now, and I don't know who's all going to know you here, right? Because that one's yours, these other ones are mine. I don't know, right? My whole hope with this show is in some way have this content distributed out to those audiences and somebody connect and say, Bob, dude, I loved what Billy had to say. I really appreciate you having him on the show. This could be 6 months down the road. He helped me with something. Right? Because I know I got realtors, mortgage people, I got consumers, I got people just watching from all different areas, right, in our industries, but they all need you, right? Somehow, some way, they're going to pull something out of this, and I really hope that I get that email 6 months from now, a year from now, that says, dude, Billy was awesome, man.
Yeah,
so,
and unfortunately for me, there's I guess in any industry, any business, there's a lot of incredible people or whatever, but credit repair salespeople get a kind of a bad rap. So
well, let's go with first who you are. Billy Alt, 700 CEO, 700 Credit Repair.
Yes, sir.
And I just saw this amazing license plate
like
that you just got.
You like it? I love it. I love it.
What was it? It was 700 CEO.
Yes. And let me tell you about that. Here's the thing about that. It's like
you gotta know what you're doing. I'm going to say, you got to have balls to have a 700 CEO license plate, man. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Or a vanity license plate at all, just my opinion.
Yeah.
But I want you to know that I have put 12 years of blood, sweat, tears into that company. We have a company. We don't do credit repair. We have a business. We have a company. We have a business.
Right.
And, man, I just felt like I earned it. And you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I just felt like it's next to my kids and my wife.
Yep.
It's my baby. It's the proudest thing I've ever built or done or created. And so like it's not about the title. It's about the damn it. That's my name tag. I earned that.
Well, I mean, when you build a business, much like we're going to talk about later, a personal brand, same thing, guys. Business and a personal brand, you wear it. I mean, you wear it here.
Absolutely.
Right. It becomes it becomes you. It becomes who you are. So to have that vanity plate, it just shows off what you're so proud of, that not only you built, but the people that you've brought into the organization have really helped you build.
Absolutely.
So 700 Credit Repair, credit restoration, you're my guy, you're who I use. Let's talk about that, because you brought up some good little nuggets there. It isn't a sexy industry. There's a lot of negativity that could surround that industry. Tell me a little bit about what it is that you guys do. What is credit restoration? Repair, restoration, and play on words. What is it? What are you guys are doing that's really setting yourself apart, and why you're having so much success in the business?
You know, it really depends on what my end customers' goals are. Because just because somebody has a 500 credit score or 600 credit score, there's not a magic formula to say, oh, here, you know, if you want a 7, this is the roadmap. It's individualized. So primarily, the bulk of our clients, they want to purchase a home. So that's their end goal. They want to buy a house. So
they want to buy a house.
So it's not only score related, their credit, but also public records related, or bankruptcy related, or foreclosure related, or a short sale could be reporting as a foreclosure when in fact it was a short sale which kills them all. You know, so we get that, we understand that, and we know that. And I'm telling you right now, my crew, I call them my girls, my processors and paralegals, they're the best at really understanding the process and holding our client's hand and helping them get from point A to point Z.
Yeah.
So, but on the other hand, we'll have other clients that maybe they don't, credit repair is really just the art of removing negative items from your credit report.
Yeah.
Credit optimization is more what we do, which is the art of raising your credit score. I don't like to say the word manipulate, but manipulating the FICO score. Some people.
Well, look, guys. I mean, when you get into and your services are not just for people that have bad credit.
Correct.
Yes. I mean, it really isn't. I mean, it's for people that have good credit that really are looking, like you said. I love that. I didn't even think of it that way. But credit optimization, in 3 or 6 months, you're going to make this big purchase, buying a house, and so credit, guys, is it's a snapshot. It's a picture in time when we use it as a lender, right? You could be great previous, and then when we all of a sudden look at it, there could be maxed out balances and a late payment, all those kind of things. And you say, well, Bob, I've been great for 15 years. I don't really care. I mean, it was what happened right then when we took that snapshot, right? And that's what we look at as a lender. So by understanding that optimization and how to play the credit game, right? That's what you're going to help them work on, like certain balance thresholds, certain types when you take out certain accounts, what type of an account is best to take out. That's where you get into the optimization. So when you get to me, you're in prime A position for the lowest interest rates, lowest out-of-pocket expense.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, so that's really our focus. That's what we built our brand on, our company on, and our referral partners on. I mean, you have certain expectations of how your clients should be handled. You don't expect them to sign up with your credit repair guy and we just start blasting a bunch of form letters or dispute letters out, hoping some stuff comes off. I mean, we need to educate them. We need to make sure that there are no, maybe something like a bad check or something like that could kill a deal, So we understand that process. It's not just credit, or, if somebody is self-employed and they haven't filed taxes for 5 years, the credit's really irrelevant at that point. So I really shouldn't sign somebody up to buy a house if they can't buy a house because of income, but we can certainly increase their scores and stuff. So, and we listen to what the customer says is really the big deal, and then we just kind of formulate a game plan. We have what we call a power process, and it's like what you just said. There's an algorithm. It's interesting. FICO is not necessarily a grade point or anything of how you paid your bills. It's a predictor of whether or not you're going to pay me or not. So that bank's looking at it saying, based on this, 2 slow pays last month, maxed out credit cards right now. I mean, there's trouble coming on the horizon. Like it sees that. That predictor, it sees it. That measurement sees that. So anyway, with that being said, our deal is, and you mentioned even the somebody that doesn't have bad credit per se. As a business owner, I would rather walk into my bank with a 720 than a 680. At a 680, I'm not getting anything really. Maybe a car or something, but 40, 50, 60 points can just be an absolute game changer for a business owner.
Man, it gives you so much confidence when you're walking in there to ask for something.
Process.
Right, you control more of that process when you know you're in a prime A position from a credit standpoint.
Yes, sir.
Now, are there a couple of, I don't know, if you want to drop some nuggets, some tips to the consumers that are out there, or even the realtors that want to take this and pass it on to the consumers, some tips that they could be doing to put them in a more optimized position?
The two biggest factors in your FICO score are how you paid your past. The third is based on past history.
Okay.
And a third is based on balances, and then another third is based on inquiries, types, and all that stuff. So really what you want to do, it's seriously this simple. It's remove bad and add good. But you want the right kind of good. You want like two revolving accounts and one installment account. You don't want to, a whole bunch of revolving accounts. I see people, and I'm sure you hear this all the time, lenders or whoever will recommend going out and open up credit cards.
Yep.
Opening credit cards does not offset medical collections, utility collections, charged off accounts. So the biggest thing that has to happen is start getting rid of those items, whether it's a collection account, whether it's a charge off, bankruptcy. It doesn't matter what it is, foreclosure. The laws are the laws. There's 250 laws that you can utilize to challenge what's being reported. And,
right.
If they can't prove it, they have to remove it. That's just the bottom line. The bad part of what's going on is the credit bureaus have OCRs, optical character recognition scanners that scan the letters. They're looking for form letters. They'll save letters. Like if I use the same letter 20 or 30 times, they would catch that, and they kick it back as frivolous.
Okay.
So that's one thing. That's one deal.
So there's a strategy on your end that you have to go with.
Things change. Sometimes we'll fax our disputes in. Sometimes we'll mail them. I see credit repair companies that will do credit repair for somebody that lives in Dallas, but they're in Florida, and they'll put the customer's address on the envelope, but it's postmarked out of Dallas. So would you drive from Florida to Dallas or vice versa to send your letter? And the credit bureaus are not stupid. They are looking for that stuff. They scan the letters. That's a frivolous letter. I mean, they'll open it and send it right back, and they know it's coming from a credit repair organization, which they hate, obviously.
Right.
I mean, it's
so there's a not a love-hate. There's a hate-hate relationship.
Yes, big
really
time, for sure, absolutely.
So that's, you guys got to play. I talk to customers, right? My team talks to customers, and they're like, "Oh, I'm just doing it myself." And I'm sitting here listening to all the things that you're going through and all that stuff. How are they even going to accomplish a 10th, a 12th of what you guys are doing?
Everybody can have some success with it as far as getting some collections removed and stuff like that. But if you want to optimize your score, like get a pro, whether it's me or somebody else, it'd be like me trying to go buy a mortgage without a mortgage person or a house without a realtor. I mean,
right.
I just don't. I know that Jessica would watch out for me better than I can watch out for myself because she does it every single day. I know you're going to watch out for the points and the closing costs. I don't. That's not my deal. Could I Google it and get some probably bad information? Yeah, and slide through maybe. I don't know, but not like you could do it.
Right.
And it's no different than that.
So you don't look at it as, and this is one thing I talk a lot about, guys, is it's not the cost of the expert, it's what that expert can actually save.
That's great.
Right?
Yeah, well said. Very well said. That's a fact. Another thing is the credit bureaus encourage electronic disputes, and the reason they've turned the dispute process into their #1 profit center at all 3 credit bureaus. Think about that. It used to be the biggest hole in their P&Ls. It's their biggest profit center now. So anything they can do digitally, it's money. It's money. So whenever you dispute online, folks that do their own disputes never dispute online, because when you dispute online, you absolutely waive your right to see a paper trail. And you can't redispute that item again for up to 2 years in some cases, in 1 year in all cases. So if I dispute online and they come right back in 10 days and say, verified, I cannot ask to see the method of verification, which is our #1 tactic. There's no paper trail, there's no proof, there's no nothing. It's like Sears said you weren't late, so you were, or Sears said you were late, you were late. It stops right there.
It stops right there.
Yeah, and that's, how they can even do that is beyond me. But there's so many things like that. Collection accounts are part of the verification process. Are an address that they have on file needs to be on your credit report. So if you have current or previous addresses and stuff, that's the first thing we always dispute. We want to clean things up, the data. We get rid of, if you're looking at an application with 20 addresses, but the application says 18 years, something's a little off.
Sure.
So,
Yep.
we work on stuff like that, that clogs the verification process. There's just a lot of little things and tricks and tips. And, I recently went to Atlanta. My guy who I look up to and follow in our industry, he's a credit expert witness, licensed in state
Yep.
and federal court.
Yep.
Teaches the class. Melissa and I just both went through his class. Not
Melissa,
so much.
your wife.
Melissa's my wife. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melissa's my wife in our CFO of the company. She runs our back end stuff. But we went
Better
and
half.
got best half. We both got certified to be able to offer, be a witness in state
Sure,
and federal
yeah,
court. And really
yeah.
not to go to do that because
Mhm.
there's not very many.
Right.
But really to go learn. We
Mhm.
spent a couple days in Atlanta with John Alzheimer, and I mean, that in itself was amazing. But it's just stuff like that, and we go to boot camps, and I'm in some groups and training stuff.
So basically, you're immersing yourself in understanding every facet
We have to.
of not just the credit restoration part of it, but the legal aspects, what's going to work, what's not going to work within the strategy of disputes within the credit agencies, right? I mean, there's a lot that's going on. It's not just mailing off a letter.
Correct.
Or mailing off a bunch of letters to see what sticks. I mean, there is a definite strategy to remove and then also to
Yes.
optimize.
And you can get a few deletions here and there, old collections, whatever. But that's what really irritates me personally. I can get on a soapbox about it, but these guys I've had people work for me, and next thing you know, they're a credit repair business owner doing some online disputes,
Right.
or sending out a few letters, charging $400 or $500, and the customer never hears from that person again. Next thing you know, they're out of business. They go down the road, whatever, and do something else, back to
Yep.
selling cars or whatever it was.
Which is why the industry has a little
Yes.
bit of a bad rap, right?
Correct. Just because somebody pulled 45 credit bureaus while he was a car salesman doesn't really make him a credit expert, or just because you
Yeah.
helped your mama remove a few items that and again, I'm not trying to be harsh or anything, but that we don't operate like that. The dispute process is broke. First of all, it's terrible. The whole situation, I mean, it's insane how ineffective it really is.
Yeah.
But that we know the rules, we know the game that we have to play, and the back end of it to us is, I mean, if I don't know that, the sales part of it and the front side of it's easy.
Easy.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's the produce results. So you continue to send my business clients so I can pay my employees. I mean,
There you go.
that's just how it works.
So if anybody's out there that wants to get a hold of you guys to help them with the restoration or optimization, how are they going to find you?
You can, I'm on Facebook. Our company's on Facebook, 700 Credit Repair. I'm at Billy Alt 700. You can message me direct. You can message our 700 Credit Repair page. You can call us at 972-279-0444. That goes directly to my portfolio managers. And what they'll do is, if you have a client that you want to send us, or if you want us to look at your credit or whatever, we always like to do a credit analysis with our clients first. We'll explain our process, talk to them, we'll see what's going on with you, and we pull the credit report, look at it, and just see if it's a good match, if it's a good fit. And the only reason I even say if it's a good match, I need to know your expectations. If you're trying to buy a house in 2 weeks and want your, go from
Yeah.
550 to a 7, that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so we kind of go through all that, no pressure, whatever. And then if you really, our sign-up process is simple, but you can call us, message me on Facebook. Our website, 700creditrepair.com. You can go get a bunch of information there, and then you can also fill out a little form there. Give us your information. We can contact you direct. So whatever works best for y'all.
Awesome, brother. So now you get business from a couple different channels, right?
Yes, sir.
So obviously this would be one of them, right? Just consumers, let's say going direct to consumer. Then there's going to be people like me, so mortgage professionals that are going to be referring clients to you. And then realtors, right? So real estate agents out there that are talking to a client before they either probably get them to the mortgage person, they're talking to them, they say, hey, have you seen a copy of your credit report or your credit score? And they tell them, they can then refer them to you, right?
Yes, sir.
Are those your three biggest and main channels of business?
Mortgage and realtors, yes, but I'll tell you, we're getting a really big following and a lot of clients from entrepreneurs in general that maybe they personally have something going on, or
Oh, as an entrepreneur, you always have personally something
big
going
time,
on.
big time. I mean, on the
Right.
credit side of it.
Yeah.
Or maybe they have a staff that sells ads to mortgage guys, and they they'll find us kind of through that. So like I'm working with a lot of business owners,
Okay.
referrals from them, but not anything like realtors or mortgage, obviously. Auto dealerships, I'd love to work with more car dealerships. I don't really have a whole lot of, believe it or not, you'd think car guys would be the biggest one to send us leads.
Yeah, you would think, but I think they're more. I mean, to me, they're like, okay, the guy can't buy a car now. A guy or girl can't buy a car now.
Yeah.
Get them out and move on to the next one, because there's so many people that are needing to buy cars, right? Cars a lot easier to buy than a house, and we'll tend to have a longer life cycle with that individual. But I just feel like they probably don't have the time. They just come in, and if they can't buy it,
Yeah.
they just move them on.
Yeah, no, and I think that's exactly what it is. And
Because if they're not looking to say in a year, let's get them back in to buy my car, they've already moved on down the road, because they probably can't buy that car, so they're going to go down to a car lot and buy a
Yeah.
car if they can't get them in.
And you know when my career changed, seriously for me, is when I stopped selling and I started giving. I was in the mobile home business in the 90s, and like our culture was, I would get 40 or 50 ups on my sales center. That's what they were called. Our culture was, if they have bad credit, get them out. It's a terrible culture. It just really is. It's a terrible culture. It's like that's the last thing that you should be doing. And I was never like that, but back then we really couldn't go spend 4 or 5 hours walking around the lot looking at mobile homes if you have a 400 credit score. I mean, so that culture, but it got very, very bad.
Yeah.
And man, now in the digital age that we're in, I mean, once I quit selling and I started giving, like if I was a car guy, somebody came in, I would say, man, I can help you today, but here, call my buddy Billy or call my buddy Joe, or don't go down and buy some $399 a month note car and it's going to be broke down. And,
Well, look, it's the investment you're making, though. So you can say, look, short term, you may need a break fix solution. If your car is not going to make it, you need a break fix solution. Go buy that car now at this lot. Here's a referral I'm going to give you. But here's what I want to do for you long term, because
See, I like that even better.
you need this. You need this car. It's going to save you more money. The history of this, the automobile, whatever it's going to be, I'm going to refer you over to my good friends over at 700 Credit Repair, and they're going to help get you to a place where you can walk in a year and buy the car that you want. Break fix, buy the car you want, but let's take care of you financially, right? Short term and long term, right? Because when we fix the credit, when my good friends over at 700 Credit Repair fix the credit, then you're in a good position not only to buy a car, but to buy the house, to get a better interest rate on your credit cards. Now we're investing in that individual, their overall financial position, right? So that is the long-term approach a salesperson, right? Because we're all in sales, whether we say we're not, we are, we're not, whatever, we're selling. That's the long-term approach a salesperson needs to make in that client, right? Hey, if I can't take care of them today, with the product that I sell, I'm at least going to take care of them no matter what, and then sell them my product down the road.
And there are very, very few people that think like that. There really are. I say very few. In the general scheme of a car lot, there are.
Yeah.
But which, it's amazing though, because the majority of the referral partners that we have a good relationship with, a close working relationship with, like they have that exact same mindset.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what we do. I mean, here, look, we're talking to people every single day, right? I mean, and it could be the 800 credit scores, it could be the 400 credit scores. And the one thing, and I've done this for 22 years, guys, you've heard this, I've done this for 22 years, been very blessed, provided financing, not over 26,000 families over that period of time, okay?
Huge.
We've never told anybody no. We've just told them not now. Okay, and that doesn't mean everybody got a loan. What that meant was, I'm not going to leave you hanging. We're going to make sure you have a path to walk down. If you're in that 400, that 520, that 550, and you just are not ready to buy today, let's make sure we get you on the path to homeownership. Let's make sure we get you to our good friends at 700 Credit Repair to get you going down the path of fixing the credit. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I got to make sure you walk down that path. And more importantly, you're going to have to take the steps
Yeah.
right? One step in front of the other, or else you're going to be in the same situation that you're in today.
And that's, those steps are scary to get started. What we find, but once that first step is taken, we're right there. We're right there to hold your hand along the way and help, whatever, educate you, keep you on track, get things removed, do our job, So, but I find that first step is the hardest, and it's really not that big of a deal or hard if you create the proper game plan.
Yeah.
We can get from a 5 to a 7, no question. You just have to have the proper game plan in mind.
Well,
that's all.
and probably I would say patience.
Yes.
Look, it's not going to happen overnight. Okay. Now, if you have something that truly is legit that needs to be removed, it happens quicker, right? If it's legit, how you dispute that. I mean, that can happen a lot quicker. But if we're trying to break a habit, look, you got to a 530 for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a habit that developed. We got to first break the habit, and then we got to get you on the right path, right? So if you have patience, to Billy's point, you can go from a 530 to a 720, no problem at all. Pretty much guaranteed, really. If you follow the steps and you do what you need to do every single day, every single month, over and over and over again, that habit of positivity will create a higher score.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
And the thing is, it didn't happen overnight. Like for me personally, when I went through my stuff years ago when I shut my company, it was a couple of years in making,
Right.
And so it doesn't happen overnight. But you would really be shocked at what 3 to 6 months would do on your credit score if you just sit down and say, look, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to accomplish. And maybe it's not a 550 to a 720 in 3 months. Maybe it's a 520 to a 650 where you can go buy a house, and then we go from there.
Sure.
But anyway.
Let me ask you this question. So somebody's shopping for a mortgage. They go to one lender, get their credit report pulled, and then they want to get transferred over to another lender, the realtor says, hey, why don't you give this company a call? And that loan officer says, well, yeah, let's go ahead and get you pre-qualified, let's pull a credit report, because we got to look at a credit report, right? Is there going to be, let's say it's within 30 days, is there, I always hear different things. What's the answer to, will that pull cause a drop in the score, and if so, how much typically?
So this is interesting, first off, on utility inquiries, they don't even count. So you may see Dallas Energy or whatever. They don't even count. You'll see it on your inquiries, but FICO 100% completely ignores utility inquiries.
Okay.
Automobile inquiries, student loan inquiries, mortgage inquiries, from the day the first one's pulled for 45 days, any other mortgage or auto or student loan inquiry, it'll show, but they count as one. That's assuming the car dealership is set up as a subscriber through the credit bureaus as a automobile finance, and maybe the dealership's not finance, but the subscriber code's the same.
Sure.
So, if you get into credit unions and stuff like that, that could become a bank pool depending on their subscriber number. If they're also offering credit cards and hard money loans or whatever. So that can play in a little bit, but on a mortgage, in cars you may run into that, but in mortgages it's black and white. It's mortgage pull or not.
So they're one lender, got a pre-qual, they come over to BobMortgage, we're like, hey, let us go ahead, I see what rates you have, what they're quoting, no problem, we got that beat, we just go ahead and get started. We do a credit pull, not going to change your score.
At all.
Love it. Guys, that's from the man himself. So I get it. We get asked this, right? And there's a lot of different people that feel differently, but we're talking to him right now about whether or not that is going to change your score, and he's telling us it's not. So that's why you got to give us a shot.
Yeah, it absolutely will not. And, there's so many other little things like that, too. The myths or untruths or whatever.
Sure.
When it comes to credit, seriously, like inquiries, everybody worries about inquiries, which is the last thing you should be worried about on your credit report. Seriously.
Just make sure you pay your bills on time. Keep the balances low.
If your score dropped 80 points, it's probably not because of an inquiry. Right? It's just usually not. So you got to take we all have you have this makes sense switch in your head. So when it comes to credit, turn it off, because it just doesn't make sense. It's a predictor of what can be expected.
Gotcha.
More so than anything.
So how are you going about getting in front of? What are you doing to get in front of mortgage guys, mortgage people, girls, realtors? I mean, what's your strategy? What's your marketing? What are you guys doing out there? And it could probably help some of the people that are watching.
You know, we just really, things like this. I just try to be visible, and I started our company Facebook page, I think it was back in 13 or 14, and about 3 to 4 years ago, I really made the decision and believed in Facebook for marketing. And,
Okay.
And so Facebook's really my main channel. We have billboards and stuff like that, which produces calls from our end client, but we'll also have mortgage folks call off of billboards and stuff. But
Okay.
really, things like this, like the reason I wanted to video this, I'm in some groups. I'm a Break Free Academy coach for a guy named Ryan Stuman, who's a leading sales trainer here right up the street from Bob's office. So, you know, I really help a lot of mortgage guys, real estate professionals, whatever, realtors get leads, do things, build funnels, whatever it is that they need help with.
Okay.
So that's helped us to maintain and gain relationships and stuff like
So
that.
you're going out with these channels, so real estate agents, mortgage guys, girls, and you're saying, hey, let me help bring clients to you.
Yes, yes.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
In the way of like, Jessica invited me to y'all's event.
Jessica's basically over here.
Yeah,
You can't
I'm
see her
sorry,
in the
I'm sorry,
corner.
I act like y'all
Yeah.
know that. But, you know, so I would be crazy not to take advantage of that situation seriously, you know, so, or coming right here and talking to you and learning from you and giving it back to my other mortgage guys where they can, you know, I mean, look at your stuff and see what you're doing, and you know, and your mindset is like mine. It's not going to affect any. Like, there's enough to go around. So if you can help somebody, I know you're happy to do it. But
yeah, absolutely.
So really,
and plus, you can just follow me at Bob Mortgage, and you're going to see everything. So I put it all out there.
And a lot of mortgage guys may want to do a mortage with you. I don't know. After they start following,
Probably get you a better rate.
yeah. So just really being the power of social media is just crazy. It is absolutely amazing, the number of doors that will open, and I'll give you a perfect example. If it was not for Facebook, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to him right now. I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't. Bob's been there, heard it. Like, you just don't take a credit repair guy and you got other things to do. You have your relationships set. So for us, just the credibility and who we are,
It started with a couple of things. One, I didn't see you as a credit repair guy. Okay, I mean, I saw you building a business. Two, you gave something of value before you ever asked for anything in return, which was those awesome tickets to Break Free Academy for me to come in and educate myself, right? So you gave me access so that I could gain something even probably more powerful, which is knowledge, to listen to people like Frank Kern and Billie Jean. I mean, there's several of them there, but I mean, just really great individuals within a space that I'm very passionate about, which is direct-to-consumer marketing, engaging and connecting with your audience. And I like being challenged and pushed to limits that I'm not comfortable with and industries that I'm really not even in, right? I spend more time outside of my mortgage space than I do inside of it as it relates to the media and direct-to-consumer focus, right? So that was awesome. You gave that, and that's what's just evolved into a what I feel is a beginning of a really good, strong relationship to impact more people.
Absolutely. And for me, if it wasn't for Facebook, I don't know that I would have ever had that opportunity. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, so for us, it's just really getting out there, and what it's done for us is like that story, right there. I do business with other guys that I've met straight off of social media. So I mean, it's been great for us.
If you guys are watching, I mean, I'll tell you this: if you should know my story. If not, I mean, it's an interesting one. If you follow me, you'll know it. I talk about it a lot, but I've been in this industry for a very long time, 22 years. But majority of it has been spent as owner, CEO, founder of companies that I've built. And in 2016, my wife and I made a very calculated and strategic decision to get more into the personal branding side of building a business, not necessarily building the company itself. And I took to video. I took to understanding the distribution of content at scale. And I went to video, and we started with one camera, a teleprompter, and I'm just rolling, right, reading. And you go back and watch some of the early videos, you'll see some of that stuff, right? You'll see it you'll see my eyes moving, right, and everything. And it's the old school stuff, right, very scripted in a suit. And I got really uncomfortable with what it was looking like. And it felt good because I knew I needed to push myself to a different level, a different limit. Yeah. And I started following people like a Grant Cardone and a Gary Vaynerchuk and a Ty Lopez and just people that are way, way out there, right? And I started to see how they were engaging and connecting with their audience. And I started like, wow, I could get comfortable with this. I really could stretch myself to a point where I got really, really comfortable with being in front of a camera. And it allowed me to become myself. Right, I was actually acting when I was one camera, teleprompter. I was acting, man. I was in a suit reading a script because everybody wanted me to be perfect. That's what I thought, right? Yeah. And the reality is they want more of who I am today when I'm making mistakes and saying it the wrong way, but they like it more brought down from a casual perspective and just talking to them, talking to the audience like I'm having a relationship with them right now, right? Yes. And that, when you understood the dynamics of how to have that kind of conversation, relationship with the camera, you connected so much better with the audience. And that's when I started to see, wow, man, this could go somewhere. And it really, really has. I mean, it's taken my business to a completely different level. It's opened so many doors to you, doors to Jessica even. I mean, how we connected on our relationship with Facebook there. And then just people in general wanting to come in and meet. Now, what I had to get comfortable with then at that point was just saying yes. Because if you're selling, you're thinking that you're supposed to be there to get something from that person that you're saying yes from. And the reality is, if you're really open to connecting with your audience and meeting people and creating content, then you're there to just help them. Because a lot of times, you're not going to get anything from it outside of distribution of content. But you're there to provide them guidance or whatever struggles or whatever past experiences or whatever that you could give to them that can move them forward in their life. Maybe that's what it's there for. And so I had to really then start changing my mindset around, okay, why am I saying yes to this meeting? It's just, let's just say yes and let's meet and let's see where it takes it. Yeah,
absolutely. Was there ever a point that you were shy, for lack of a better, how did you get so comfortable and so confident on camera? Do you get nervous anymore at this point?
I get nervous. Not at all. I don't get nervous at all because here's why. I got comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay, first and foremost, I got comfortable being uncomfortable. Like figuring out like I had to be perfect and I had to be so scripted and then it was like, okay, that's not really who I am. How do I stretch myself even further, getting into, like I was saying, the Gary V's and the Grant Cardones of the world and watching their process. And then I went from not being scripted, not trying to create things, to doing what we do now with our media company and Brandon, who you guys know at that Ginger BP, leading my brand management and digital marketing, just documenting stuff. We live in the content every day. Yeah. This is everything that we do every day. We're talking on phones, we're helping customers, we're in meetings, we're doing all those things that are really impacting their life at that moment. But then if we document it all like we do now with all these cameras, then we can break that content down over the course of a day, distribute the content every single day in micro or macro formats, meaning 1-minute videos or 8-minute videos, or in this case, 35, 45-minute videos, so that people then can engage. And they can then learn. And so when you start pulling all that together, it just continues to build and build and build. And now I don't have to get uncomfortable anymore. Yeah, and it's I just live in the content.
That's a really, really good point. You do a great job, and you really make it look easy. And I know for for my audience, for a lot of guys that I work with or whatever, whether it's other mortgage realtors or people that we coach or whatever, a lot of people are petrified of it. They just are. And as myself, I beat up a little bit. Me and Brandon, I was going to grab your sweat towel there, the golf top. I needed it, but you're right. When I'm totally comfortable in front of a camera, it's when I'm talking about what I do and what I know.
Well, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Don't try to get up there and talk about something like you know something when you really don't. That's when it's not going to be authentic.
Yeah.
Right? It's not going to be authentic. Stick to your lane.
And for people that are afraid, I feel like if you should be out there talking about it, then you're probably very comfortable in talking about it, Yeah. So
and get over anything that you fear. Get over it. You know what? If you don't think you sound good, who cares? If you don't think you look good, it doesn't really matter. Okay? I mean, people do really well, and they're not really good at this. Okay? I mean, seriously, it's that. I got to call guys, so hold on. It's that simple, right? I mean, just get over it, because you can find if you put this type of content out there daily, then tomorrow you can do something different, and the next day you can do something different. If you don't like Monday's content, put something out on Tuesday, put something out on Wednesday. That's how you overcome a lot of that fear. Is tomorrow you get to do something different. The ones that fear it is they put out a piece of video and they think it's going to be the be-all, end-all, and it's got to be perfect, and it's the one video they're going to put out for the month.
Just take action and do it.
And it's that one video is not going to do anything for you.
Yeah, it's the consistency that matters.
100% right there, man. It's the consistency over content that matters. Be consistent with the content that you put out. Distribute it out every single day through all social media, right? All the channels, whether it's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's Twitter, it's YouTube, it's LinkedIn. Strip out the video, turn it into audio for a podcast. When you start really thinking of it like that as a media company, I mean, you're going to win long term, right? Because you're not hanging on to any one video. Yeah, no, that's in the repurposing and the different aspects that you guys do. That it's smart, it's a great business decision. I mean, why would you not really? So. Yeah. My hat's off to you, man. You really do make it look simple, and the content, consistency with crappy content though don't work either. It's not simple. I mean, it's not so. Brandon and I were up here until like 10:30 one night, or just 2 nights ago, I think, 10 o'clock or something like that. I mean, just working on stuff. I mean, we're up here late last night. Well, I mean, it's when my core competency is mortgage. I mean, I'm still in the mortgage business, right? So it's not like I can just focus on media or videos and all that kind of stuff. I still got to run the mortgage company. Mm-hmm. I still got to talk to clients. I still got to do mortgages. And so all these other things happen while we are documenting during the day, talking about the editing, talking about what the next week or 3 weeks or month is going to look like with our content distribution. I mean, that all happens after our work hours, right? That all happens after hours. And then, stuff that we do also on the media side. I mean, we do media for other people. I mean, like you, bringing leads in to your mortgage people and to your real estate partners, we look to do the same thing. I mean, my investment back into people is I want to go direct to the consumer, but then distribute that content back out to, or referrals back out to my real estate partners. But then I have mortgage people that say, hey, man, what are you doing? How do you do this? All right, let's sit down. Let's do a coaching session, right? Let's talk about what I'm doing, because I'll give it all away. There's enough business out there for all of us to be successful. And what I found is the more you give, the more you receive. Yeah, that's a fact. That is a fact. Well, I love what you're doing, man. Love it. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So what's up next? What do you got? I mean, I know there's a lot of things on your plate. I know you got a new vanity license plate. Where are you going next, man? What's the next thing for Billy Alt? I heard the last time you and I talked, I heard what you said about the end customer, and I love marketing to the end customer. I love that aspect of it. My billboards get the end customer. Okay. I also love dealing with my referral partners and affiliates and stuff. But so I want to get into more events out of. We have our office. We don't call it 700 Credit Repair. We have what we call Billy Alt's Life Changing Results Ranch and Referral Partner Training Grounds. So there we have a couple of acres out in Rock House that we converted into an office and re-rocked it and stuff. And it's an office deal, but
And then we've got a barn there and stuff like that. So in the barn, we've insulated it and we're making it our event center. We built a little platform, a stage, and put
Oh, really?
a screen in it and a whiteboard, and it's like 30 foot across. Yeah, it's awesome. It's just great. It'll hold 60 or 70 people. It's amazing. So I did, came out and did y'all's event with you. So I'm going to do some homeowner seminars, some homeownership workshops with you and do some really end customer talking, training, discussing. Maybe some people come in there that are a 610 and they don't want to go the 580 route, so we give them some free tips and they're able to get to a 640 and bypass me and go straight to you. That's part of generating leads from our referral partners. We're getting serious on our events. We're getting very serious on our events. We're also getting very serious on our referral partner events. We're doing a realtor event you don't have to be a realtor or a mortgage person, but it's going to be geared specifically towards the real estate industry, on branding and stuff like that. Ryan, my coach mentor, owns Break Free Academy. I'm a coach with him, like I said earlier. He's going to come out, will be our key speaker. Travis Plum and I are going to go over our social media marketing tactics. So we're stuff like that. Again, giving more value. And then what we want to do, you're going to be proud of me. I recently hired a film guy.
Yeah,
I've got him one day. I know, man. You're inspiring me. I'm telling you, man. I'm stepping up my game. So he's going to come out. We'll have him. He started last week. I got some cool content already, but he's going to, he'll film the events, and then we can repurpose them, webinar them. You and I could use it and throw it out there and do whatever we want to do with it. So, our events and then taking those events and creating a webinar out of it. Not a webinar where you're looking at my screen and I'm telling you how to buy a house or fix your credit. A real webinar like you're in the class, almost watching a replay type deal.
Yes.
So that's what I'm getting into.
Yep.
And I'd love for you to be a big part of it too. I'll get with you down the road once we're rolling. But
yeah, the webinars, I mean, I feel like that is a great place to provide so much value to the end user. And watch them go through the process on their own. And you can find ways to give and somewhat monetize that, where I feel, would have like a significant, especially a significant reach, right, to an audience. And then some are going to find ways to do it on their own, but yet you figured out a way to monetize that group still. And then the ones that don't, you give them that easy exit out of that webinar approach to get into your assembly line on the 700 credit.
Exactly.
I mean, I can see that being big.
And we do, we're like you. What states are you in? You do mortgages?
Yeah, I mean, Texas, Colorado, California, Arizona.
So rather than us going and doing an event up in Colorado, the replay or whatever, I mean, we can touch Colorado and help change some lives.
Oh my gosh,
no, that's stuff, so that we're excited about it.
Yeah. No, so events, any music? We're gonna do some live music. We're gonna get a band out there and at your
you probably play guitar or something, don't you?
No, man. No, I don't play guitar.
Okay.
I got my brother. My brother plays. He's in the music industry, so he's.
We are going to do a band.
He's the artistic guy.
We are going to do a band.
I could sing.
I can sing too, but I just don't sing good. So.
Oh, I didn't say I sing good.
You didn't have
Brandon will tell you that. I'm singing whatever Alexa's playing, man. Good thing is she gives me the words, so that's the
funny.
good thing. But we need to throw down some good events. I love. We have an event actually tonight that we're doing, and it's all about fashion. So, I think putting events together to help engage your sphere is super, super important to impact their lives. But yeah, I think the consumer direct piece is good. So
can I ask what's your next move? What's your next? I know there's always something.
Oh, global domination.
Nice.
No, I mean,
take me.
My next move. It's just where we've been. I mean, we're really flowing really nicely with our realtor channel. We're doing some amazing things there with our partners to, engage and impact their life and just, continue to grow that channel. Our our businesses. You know, we have businesses that refer us clients and stuff like that, and we go in and educate corporate clients. That's big. Consumer direct is going to be like all the stuff that we do. We were very strategic in putting out so much content early on because it was directed to building a brand to get the agents to know us, like us, and trust us very quickly. And that's what we started off in 2000.
Know us, like us, and trust us.
Yeah, know us, like us, and trust us. You got to know me, like me, and trust me, right? Because it's the personal brand side of that. It's not the company. So when you build that personal brand, which is a company, it's got to be very personal, right? Personal brand. It's got to be very personal. So you got to know me, like me, trust me before we refer Bob Mortgage. And then, you know, I really am after that consumer and understanding their habits, not just the ones that are buying a home today. This is not a today deal. This is not a today deal. This whole distribution of content and accumulation of content is for the next 22 years. It's going to change. I mean, all the stuff that we're doing today is going to evolve and change. I mean, we're just trying to maximize the time that we have in it. And so that's why we're putting out 7, 10, 15, 20. I'm challenging Brandon. I mean, can we put out 100 pieces of content in a day? He's like, no, not right now. Well, no, there's no way. But how much content can we put out through stories, through just images, through videos, through macro, micro type stuff? And then turning it into, like with Jessica, and what she helps me do is, okay, how can we then turn that into deals coming back? You know, because we have our branding side, which is give without expectation. Then we have our ROI side. I'm spending money to get something in return, right? And I want to go and I want to spend as much money as I can, knowing that I can 3, 5, 8, 10 times the multiple of that coming back to me, so that I can then turn that around and give it back to the partners that have been so loyal to Bob Mortgage, that have really helped us build this brand, our realtor partners. Right?
When you say habits, that's so interesting. It's fascinating, actually, to me. What do you mean? You're looking at the habits of your perfect ideal client?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
What are some of those?
Well, so like what are they doing? Like finding the person 12, 18, 24 months from buying a house. Right? So not the ones that are buying a house in the next 30 days. Mm-hmm. Okay, that happens. I got that, right? I want to know 12 months from today, what are the decisions they're making now that's leading them to a point of buying a house next June? And understanding that process. What are they searching? What are they looking for? What are some of their you know, the searchable habits that they're going through? Are they engaging with like text campaigns? Are they downloading books? Are they attending webinars, right? Or what are they going to be really looking to do over that period of time? Because if I can get in front of them, which I can get in front of them with content, and it just had to be mortgage specific content. It's about mindset. It's about understanding net worth. It's about getting into the entrepreneurial world, right? And helping them grow personally and professionally, so that they become more connected with me as the individual, and then they learn what I do, and then they take that rabbit hole into the webinar, or they take the rabbit hole into downloading books, and then they become a client. Because they got to know me and like me over here. They started to trust me as they moved into the next funnel aspects of everything, and then they bought. They bought at some point. 8, 10, 12, 18 months down the road.
Man, that's fascinating.
That's a long play. It's a long play, and it takes a commitment. I mean, we invest a lot of money in money that we're not going to see a return on for a while. But so you have to have a good book of business that's flowing every 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, so you can keep up with that, right? But once you shift to that long-term play, it's fun. It's so fun because you're not expecting anything in return then. You're just trying to figure it all out and have fun looking at the data and saying, oh my gosh, these are people opting into my email campaigns. These are opting into text campaigns. Okay, now I know, okay, I'm going to put these types of marketing in front of them and see if they re-engage at a different level. And if they are, I know that there's somebody that is interested at some point, whether it's 6, 12, 18 months. And then you put a survey in front of them. When are you looking to buy? Yeah. What's your biggest obstacle?
That's what it takes,
right?
To be, like, you know, you're clearly successful, and I would expect him to say that. You know what? I would expect you Because it takes a lot of time, and you didn't learn
Oh
that
my gosh,
overnight.
no,
I mean, it's
absolutely
been 20
not.
years in the making.
It's been 20 years in the making, but it's also been I'm stretching myself and getting out there to people, like I said, that are not in my space, not in your space, not in the real estate space. They're in consumer direct space in other industries, selling books or selling, coaching classes or selling the things that I'm not going to pay for in a lot of areas. But I'm watching their habits and what they're putting in front of them, and then I'm just bringing it back and saying, you know what, I need to figure this out. And so that's why I like figuring things out, is I want to know, because that knowledge then tells me how to act. When I start figuring all these things out, and I'm actually putting together my email campaigns and my text campaigns and seeing what they're subscribing to, and then I'm processing that and saying, okay, now I can move to this direction.
Do you still do a lot of that type of content creation, or on your new stuff, email campaigns and stuff, or do you have a team that now does it, or do you still do it?
No, hell, I spent almost an hour and a half the other night trying to work on a particular email campaign.
Yeah, me the same.
That was directed to the consumers, and it was an hour and a half, but that hour and a half will return much more to me in dollars once I start to see the action that those people will start taking. And then I can tweak it a little bit more and tweak that a little bit more. I mean, eventually I want to get to the point where I just offload it all, but not until I know.
You probably never will, though.
Yeah, I will.
Will you?
I will, because I know that there are people out there that are better than me that can do it, that know it at a level that I don't know. But for me to give it up today, I think would be a disservice to my team and my business, because I don't know the questions to ask yet. I don't know. I can't audit the auditor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
At that point.
Yeah.
So I really want to be a student and then really learn it to a certain point and then be able to turn it over and then hold those people accountable to the standards that I'm looking for.
Yeah, love it, man.
Yeah. Brother, hey man, it was awesome.
Awesome.
I really appreciate you
Thank
you
so
stopping
much
by.
for having me.
83rd jam session, guys. It's the 83rd, and we had Billy Alt,
83rd.
CEO, 700 Credit Repair. Check him out. You're going to see him flying his Duramax, right? Flying down, and you're going to see that vanity plate. You're going to know who we're talking about here. But I really appreciate you jamming with us today.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it a lot. So.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much for hanging in there. Thanks so much for giving us your eyes and your ears. You guys have a great day, and most importantly, make somebody else's day even better. Take care.
Bye, y'all.